And we are back. Raiders franchise. In the last episode, we ended up losing to the Chargers, but quickly before we talk about that, during practice this week, which, if you don't know, I do off camera because it's pretty boring, Jacoby Myers ended up suffering an injury, so he is going to be out for this game. Anyway, as I was saying, we lost 24-7 to the Chargers in a game that wasn't really close. We never really were competing. We were never, fully doing anything. We scored one touchdown. And they honestly should have scored more on us. We're going to hope that we win this one. The Commanders, they're a better team. They're 2-0. It's going to be played in Washington. But here are our current pending free agents. Kobe Myers, Eric Stokes, Jermaine Pratt, Dylan Parham, Jamal Adams, Zamir White, Malcolm Coons, Javon Baker, Jordan Meredith, Key Blue Kelly, Kenny Pickett, Alinda Roberts, Leaky Fotu, Charles Snowden, Devin White, Lonnie Johnson, Thomas Booker, Raheem Mostert, Ian Thomas, Tristan McCollum, Will Putnam, Stone Forsythe, Daniel Carlson, who we tried to re-sign in the last episode at the end, and then Tyree Wilson, who is a fifth-year option guy who, spoilers, we're probably not going to pick it up. There's no one I'm really, besides Daniel Carlson, obviously I offered him a contract, that I'm really going after. I could see myself going after Dylan Parham or potentially Eric Stokes if either of them have a great season. Dylan Parham so far has. Eric Stokes, well, it's too soon to tell with him. Dylan Parham hasn't allowed a sack. Meanwhile, Eric Stokes, I mean, we've seen the two games. One of them was amazing, one of them wasn't. So, we need to wait and see. Jacoby Myers, same thing. I highly doubt it because we actually have him on the trade block. He's probably going to be someone who, depending on how well we are at the trade deadline, is someone we end up trading away because in real life, he has requested a trade. 1st and 10, 3-yard rush for Gus Edwards. So, yeah, it's something I could definitely see us doing as they pick up the first down. They're already up towards midfield. But at the moment, I'm not quite willing to commit to anything. As it's going to be 4th down, we're going to hold them to a touchback. Tressway punts it into the end zone as Ashton Genty gets us started with a 6-yard rush. So, yeah, I don't know if Jacoby Myers will be on this team much longer. It's going to depend. Trey Tucker is one of the main reasons why he still is. Trey Tucker has not really played as well as I would have liked with this wide receiver 2 role. Meanwhile, Jack Beck, there he is, gets 11 yards. He's actually played really well. Brock Bowers getting a penalty. That sucks. And down goes Gino. 2-yard rush. So we're facing a 3rd and 20. It's incomplete. Terry McLaurin goes for 16 yards there. Big play for them. Gus Edwards follows it up with a 7-yard rush. They're already approaching midfield again. They're actually past it now with Jaden Daniels rushing for 6. Noah Brown gets 12. They are moving this drive. 9 yards up to the 29 for Gus Edwards. 13 yards to Zach Ertz. They are in the red zone. We are going to go ahead and watch this pan out. Here with 2.5 minutes. Actually, it's going to be more down to 2 minutes now in the first quarter. Still no scored, but the Commanders in the red zone looking to change that as it's a quarterback keeper. 1-yard pickup. Great job by the defense as Jaden Daniels made the wrong read on the read option. 2nd and 9 now. Daniels throws check down. Going to be complete, but for no yardage. Landon Roberts, someone else I am interested in re-signing. He's going to be someone who, as that's a touchdown to Terry McLaurin. Great job. He was wide open, able to get into the end zone. Commanders going to take the lead. Landon Roberts, the issue with him is he is 31 years old. So we're definitely going to wait for him to regress and see, how much he regresses to the side. But he's so far having an amazing year for us. Jack Beck gets 11 yards. We're already up to midfield. And now we're past it, up to Jack Beck to the 35. 8 yards for Ashton Genty, brings up 2nd and 2. 21 yards for Brock Bowers, 1st and goal at the 6. We're going to quickly hop in and watch this sequence. And he gets pushed into the end zone by the Commanders. It's Ashton Genty rushing in for the touchdown. Extra point is good. We have a tie ball game here as we are 11 and a half minutes into the second quarter. And we force a 3 and out. Amazing job defense. As that punt goes 58 yards all the way down to the 8. 3-yard pickup for Genty. It's going to be incomplete now. Third down. And it's going to be a pick six. Marshawn Lattimore picks off Geno Smith and takes it to the house. And Frankie Louvu gets a sack on Geno Smith. Bobby Wagner knocks the pass away. 20 yards though for Trey Tucker, and it's a first down. 11 yards now to Dante Fortin, the other rookie. Down goes Geno. Deron Payne. Ashton Genty gets the yards back, but third and long. 16 yards to Jack Beck. That's a first down. And Ashton Genty gets tackled for -2. And gets +3. So third and 9 now. 9 yards for Ashton Genty on the reception. 7 yards now to Dante Ford. We're right outside the red zone. We're going to go ahead and hop in. Only 1 yard out. With 5 minutes, now under 4.5. Great game so far between these two teams. As it's going to be a handoff. This is Raheem Mostert going nowhere. And an injury timeout as Jackson Powers Johnson, arguably the best O lineman for us, goes down with an injury. 3rd and 3. Geno pressured. He checks it down to Mostert. He has that speed. He's going to pick up the first down to the 14-yard line. First down now from the 14, extending the drive. Geno Smith. Pressure. Rolling out. He's going to take it himself. Down to the 10-yard line. Nice pickup of 4 yards. Brings up 2nd and 6. Raheem Mostert still out there. At this point, you have to worry. Is Ashton Genty okay? Geno down to the 2-yard line. First down and 1st and goal. Mostert still out there. And it's going to be a give to him. He's going to break through a tackle and get into the end zone. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this up. We're going to quickly go coaching medical center. Ashton Genty is not on here. So that's good. Jackson Powers Johnson also not on there quite yet. So it seems like both of them will be coming back into the game. We'll just have to wait and see though. Second and 7. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the defense. That's an automatic first down. Gus Edwards getting close. 2nd and 5. 13 yards to Noah Brown. We are officially down to a minute remaining. We are going to hop in and watch this sequence play out. 1 minute and 2 left. Commanders at the Raiders 41. One timeout to their name. Looking to hopefully get some last-second points before the half ends. As over the middle, that's going to be complete. Deebo Samuel up to the 27. First down. They elect not to take their timeout. That's probably the smart move. As Jaden Daniels looking, he's going to scramble. He's going to be inside the 10. Slides down at the 9-yard line. First down. And with 30 seconds left, Commanders do take their timeouts. Which, I mean, short yardage situation, 9 yards to go. They have plenty of time, even if they get tackled inbounds short of the line. Which they do here, up to the 3. Going hurry up. And they're already set with 20 seconds, so only 10 seconds off. However, they now, at this point, pretty much need to be hoping. And it's going to be complete, and they're going to say touchdown, Austin Eckler. We're going to actually take a look at this, because he caught it. He was short of the end zone. Did he catch it and then run out of the end zone? It's going to be a tough one to overturn. He is across the end zone. But as you see, he runs out of it. Well, more so gets tackled. Either way, they're going to say touchdown. If it gets overturned, it gets overturned. We're not willing to throw the flag. All right, third quarter time. Raiders do get the ball, and it's immediately going to be a penalty on Trey Tucker. 7 yards for Raheem Mostert, though. 2nd and 13. Percy Butler, the safety, knocks it away, and Geno Smith pass goes incomplete. 73-yard punt. Great punt. Unfortunately, touchback, though. Noah Brown on the wide receiver run. No gain. -3. 3rd and 12. It's going to be Terry McLaurin for 7 yards, but that is not enough, as it's going to be punted all the way down to the 4-yard line. What a punt. 2 yards for Mostert. 2nd and 8. 6 yards for Geno. 3rd and 2. 4 yards for Michael Mayer on the rush. And down goes Geno. Eddie Goldman on the sack. Quan Martin, the other safety, gets the knockdowns. 3rd and 17. It's a 19-yard completion to Jack Beck. 8 yards now for Mostert. And no gain. Actually loses a yard. 3rd and 4. 4 yards for Geno Smith. Just enough for the first down. 4 yards again for Mostert. Pass knocked away by Percy Butler. Incomplete. Geno had to throw the ball away. And it's a 51-yard punt, going to be pinned at the 6. 5-yard penalty on the defense. That's going to be on Tyree Wilson. 1st and 5. They get 2 yards. 2nd and 3 now. 8 yards to Debo for the first down. 12 yards now for Zach Ertz. They're moving. Penalty on the offense on Debo. They're going to be going back 10 yards. 12 yards, though, so Noah Brown. 2nd and 8. 17 yards for Noah Brown. And that's going to take us to the 4th. 5 yards now to the 32 for Noah Brown again. Noah Brown with a 6-yard rush. An injury. Zach Ertz gets injured on the play. They're at the 25. This is a very crucial drive. Any points here would put them up 2 scores. So this Raiders team is going to have to hope for pretty much a big-time sack that's going to make them lose a lot of yards, or like a missed kick. And there's the turnover, but recovered by the Commanders. Jaden Daniels fumbled trying to get out of bounds. Deebo Samuel recovers. That would have been huge for the Raiders if they picked it up. Would have kept the game 1 score and gave them the ball. 3rd and 3 now after the 2-yard pickup on the RPO. Need to get to the 15 for the first. They currently sit at the 18. Deebo Samuel in motion. Daniels to throw. He's wide open. Deebo Samuel. He's down to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Will the Raiders get the stop they need? They do on 1st down. They're going to lose a yard. Jonah Lulu, though, on that Raiders defense, ends up suffering an injury. 2nd and goal from the 9 after the loss of 1 on the handoff. Noah Brown, we see in motion. He's getting followed. They go end around to him. He's going to get up to the 7. Pickup of 2. And that's going to bring up 3rd and goal now. We see in motion again. Daniels, plenty of time. He gets hit as he throws, though. And it's incomplete. And the field goal unit's going to come out there for a chip shot. 24-yard attempt to make it a 2-score game. 10 points. The kick is good. And the Commanders now lead by 10. With just under 11 to go. Oh, I accidentally hopped into... Forgot to change the speed. Guess we'll watch this return as it's going to be fielded. Returned up to about the 19-yard line. Or, excuse me, 24. All right. Normal speed. Here we go. 2nd and 6. Now it's going to be incomplete. 3rd and 6 already. Incomplete. 4th down. You got a tough decision to make. And the Raiders are going to elect to punt the ball. 1 yard for Noah Brown on the handoff. -2 for Jane Daniels. Could this be a smart move? It is, as they force a 3 and out. And get the ball at the 38. 16 yards for Trey Tucker. Already past midfield. 2 yards for Raheem Mostert. Nothing special. 11 yards for Javon Baker. The wide receiver 5 coming into this game, obviously with Jakobi Meyers' injury. He does slide up the depth chart. 3rd and 5. 4 yards for Brock Bowers. And it says... I mean, I don't see a reason not to run this football on 4th. It's a long one, to be fair. I'm willing to throw the game, though. And Zamir White's going to pick up the first down to the 23. I think we go... What? What? He had the first. He had the first, and it wasn't even close. Okay. We're going to end up losing this game now, probably, because the refs make one of the worst calls you have ever seen. Fumble now, and it's going to be picked up by the Raiders, and he's down at the 3-yard line. Tyree Wilson. And maybe it's not over yet. I mean, talk about that. That's Jadeveon Clowney against Michigan. And incomplete. A bunch of guys in the area. 3 on each team, but that ball flies incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. If you fail to score a touchdown in this situation, 3 yards away, it's really going to hurt. Now 5 yards as Raheem Mostert steps out. Geno had him open. Took way too long to throw that ball, though. As Geno Smith on 3rd down, throwing, just tried to toss it up to Jack Beck one-on-one. And started at the 3-yard line. End up losing 2 yards, and we're going to have to settle for a field goal. And it is good. 24-17, Commanders still lead, but we are back to a 1-score game, ladies and gentlemen. Big hit. Manages to hang on, though. Up to the 28-yard line. And we're going to watch the rest of this game out. First down from the 28. A little over 4 minutes to go as that pass is incomplete. Zach Ertz and Cam McLaurin kind of ran by at the same time. Looks like it was intended for Zach Ertz, but tough catch having to deal with his own teammate. Probably some confusion as well. Amazing job there by number 30. 3rd and 9 after only 1-yard pickup. Raiders, if they get a stop here, they get the ball back with plenty of time. Down a touchdown. And throwing it deep. One-on-one. And it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel had a step. The defender never really saw the ball, but was able to just make a good play on the defender. And that's going to be incomplete. And the Raiders going to return this punt. Good return up to the 39 with 3:25. Have a chance to tie the game with a touchdown. As looks like Geno Smith is injured. As it is Kenny Pickett, the backup. Going to be a check down. Raheem Mostert gets 1 yard. 2nd and 9 now at the 40. Does Kenny Pickett have a game-tying drive in him? It's going to be complete to Dante Fortin. 3rd and 1 now from the 48. This is go-for-it territory. Raheem Mostert is the back. And they give to him, but he's going to be tackled 4 yards short with the tackle for loss, and it's a 2-minute warning. And this is huge for the Raiders. Going to talk this over, decides what best. They do have all 3 timeouts. They're going to keep the offense out there. They could have potentially said, we're going to rely on our defense. I like this call. Pickett in trouble, and he's going to go down back at the 40. Dorrance Armstrong with the sack. Not quite over yet, as the Raiders do have all 3 timeouts. A single first down, however, would end this game. Any points would end this game. They're already up to the 36-yard line, right at field goal range. It's going to be a long one, about 53 yards. Timeout Raiders, they're first with 1:52. Gonna have to hope for a tackle for loss. They're gonna pass. This is a risky maneuver. And down goes Daniels. He fumbled the ball. Max Crosby's gonna pick it up. And he's gonna take it to the end zone. What a play call by the Commanders. And man, there's a backfire, shooting him in the foot. And we have a tie ball game, assuming the extra point's good. Oh my goodness. What a play by the Raiders defensive line. saying we don't even have to rely on Kenny Pickett in this offense. We're just going to do it ourselves. Dane Daniels fumbled for a second time. Remember, he fumbled earlier in the red zone. Deebo Samuel was thankfully able to pick it up, though. As first play is going to be a 7-yard completion to Noah Brown, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Minute 35. Commanders have all 3 timeouts still. Raiders have 2, so the Commanders have to be careful if they score a touchdown not to be too fast or give the Raiders a chance. Speaking of as well, they also have to make sure the Raiders don't get the ball back, but Jane Daniels with a good rush there up to the 44. What a game this has been. It looked like the Commanders had this all in the bag. Max Crosby, 5-yard sack. Like I said, you got to be careful and not let the Raiders have a chance. Jane Daniels. Complete to Noah Brown. He's across midfield. 3rd and 2. It's going to be a timeout for the Commanders. 3rd and short here. This is arguably go for it territory. Depends on how confident you are. Because the thing is, if you fail, the Raiders get the chance. But Daniels, he's going to be sacked. And the Raiders take a timeout. I was going to hop in, make sure they did. But the Commanders fail to score. And the Commanders are going to have to punt this one back to the Raiders. And it's a decent return. It's a good return. Up to the 39-yard line. 47 seconds and 1 timeout. All the Raiders need is a field goal. Kenny Pickett, the backup quarterback, however, Geno Smith appears to be injured. Going to be a check down to Dante Ford, and that's going to only be 4 yards, and that's going to chew a decent amount of clock for only 4 yards. 2nd and 6 now from the 43. We got to hurry this up. Pickett. Going to be sacked, and that's going to burn a timeout. Oh, man, I hate to hop in, but I just don't see the computer being smart at all in this situation. And on 4th and inches, we don't get it.
A 5-yard pickup. It's now 4th down. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 11 on the play. And the Las Vegas 1st down. Zamir White, the ball carrier.
Oh my goodness, we have a chance.
He's out of
The
bounds.
field goal unit with 8 seconds left. Commander's going to ice him.
Daniel Carlson on for the
Looking at a 56-yarder for Daniel Carlson. As we see Coach Dylan Northcutt watching from the sideline. Does Daniel Carlson give them the go-ahead field goal? It's up. It's slow motion. This is so intense. I've never seen this before. And there's a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
It doesn't matter though. The kick is good. And with 5 seconds, the Raiders lead. No timeouts. 65-yard Hail Mary or unless they try and do some trick play to get down. They do not have time. Clock's hit 0, throwing across his body. It's incomplete. And the Raiders, from down 10 entering the 4th quarter, end up winning by 3, 27-24. What a game! Geno Smith went 18 for 34, 200 yards, no touchdowns, and interception. Kenny Pickett went 4 for 4 for 17. Reem Mostert entered the game. 9 for 17 and a touchdown. He also fumbled the football. Ashton Genty, oops, didn't mean to skip. 8 for 30 and a touchdown. Gino was 6 for 35. Zamir White 3 for 14 and the huge one to put us in field goal range. Receiving Jack Beck led the way. 6 for 78. Raheem Mostert 4 for 13. Dante Fortin 4 for 29. 3 for 46. Trey Tucker 3 for 30. Brock Bowers. Ashton Genty and Javon Baker both getting a catch as well. Blocking. DJ Glaze and Dylan Parham. We were just saying how good Dylan Parham had of the season. He gets us 2 sacks there. Raheem Mostert also allowing 1. Defensively, 7 total tackles for a bunch of guys. Jeremy Chin, DeCamerion Richardson, Max Crosby, Christopher Smith, and Eric Stokes. 3 tackles for loss for Max Crosby. A bunch of guys with 1. 2.5 sacks for Max Crosby. Half of a sack went to Tonka Hemingway and 1 sack for Christopher Smith. Forced fumbles. Max Crosby with 2 of them. Jeremy Chin and Christopher Smith both had 1. Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby both picking 1 up. Of course, we know Max Crosby's went for a touchdown. And kicking, Daniel Carlson, 2 for 2 with a 56-yarder go-ahead kick. And then really good punting, 57 and 2-yard average. Amazing game. Beautiful way to end an episode. Last second win. After trailing the whole game. As we're going to advance week, after 3 games, we actually sit with a winning record, 2-1. However, 1 game's been really good. 1 game's been really bad. 1 game we escaped with a win. And we officially have trade offers for Jacoby Myers. We have not had a single one so far this season. Here's our first one. Shaquille Barrett, absolutely not. We're not going to trade for an old guy. 4th and 5th rounder, though. Decent picks. Jordan Mason, we don't need a second running back. 5th and 2 sevenths. Not going to do that. Quandre Diggs, straight up, absolutely not. He's a worse guy. He's older. Why would we do that? I get it's like our need, but no. Devon Bailey in a 5th, no. Eddie Goldman in a 4th, no. Nick Westbrook Akine a 4th and a 7th, no. Demario Douglas. I could do this. This is basically us saying, yes, we're downgrading at the position by a significant overall 5 to be exact, but we are getting a guy who is the same depth trait, a much cheaper contract, and is 4 years younger. We'll come back to it. Tershawn Wharton in a 5th, no. Lucas Van Ness, maybe. I don't think we need edge, but a 4, 6, and 7 as well, not terrible. Eric Armstead, no, too old. Christian Fulton, we don't need corner that badly. I think we can easily replace it. Zay Jones, too old. Joshua Palmer. It's kind of the same thing with Josh Palmer. He's definitely a worse receiver than Demario Douglas, but we also get that 4th and 7th round pick. We'll definitely consider both of those between the Patriots and the Bills, because those are really good ones. Ironic, though, the Patriots trying to trade for him after they had the chance to re-sign him, but he ended up coming to New England. So, yeah, this is a very interesting one. Because ultimately, I like both receivers. They're both young guys, show a lot of potential. The thing is, I think Demario Douglas has a significantly higher ceiling. Why am I scrolling this way? The Bills are... I don't really think the Bills need a receiver is the thing either, because they have Khalil Shakir. Well, maybe they do, because Khalil Shakir is really their only set-in-stone guy. Keelan Coleman, obviously, very high ceiling, but we have yet to see it. Joshua Palmer, very cheap for a guy on a 3-year deal. 12 mil being the most he's going to get next year. Definitely going to consider that. I actually really like that. I thought he'd be a guy who was on like a 1-year deal. I could definitely see it because, like I said, they don't really have a set-in-stone guy, but at the same time, I also don't think they would need another guy like this. The Patriots seem so obvious. Besides Stephon Diggs, who's an old guy, he's only going to get worse probably as years go on. You got the Mario Douglas, who, well, he's unproven. I could definitely see why they want to trade him away. And then look at all your other guys. Kyle Williams maybe turns into something, but these other two, I mean, there's not really much light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's going to be something. Ooh, we have a weekly award that we do next episode as Explore the Trades. Obviously, Max Crosby wins Player of the Week with 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown. Marshawn Lattimore also got Player of the Week for the pick 6 he had against us and also getting 6 tackles. But that is about going to do it. We're going to quickly try and re-sign our boy Daniel Carlson, especially after that kick he just made. 2 years, 9 mil, 4.5 mil a year. That's a decent deal, but still not even going to accept that. Shoot, I don't know. Danny Pickett, I know you went 4 for 4, but you did jack shit for us. Oop, I didn't mean to swear. I'm sorry. I am interested in bringing back Zamir White, though. However, we're not willing to. There's no negotiations here, Zamir White. So, you don't like that offer? I'm not willing to offer you anything else. That's that. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. In the next episode, we will go against the Bears, who are 2-1. Bye. Hope you enjoyed.